What's good, YouTube? It's your boy vexyz, the lurking legend, head cook and host of The Last Ark. And today we got a pretty chill stream with you guys. Today we have some wonderful guests. I'm gonna go ahead and start introducing some of them. We have somebody who we recently had on the channel, and it was a smash success. We had a ton of fun. We're super glad to have you back with us. We've got a rising star himself in the community. We've got Middleway 101. How you doing today, brother?
Doing awesome, man. Can't wait to cook up with you guys again. It was an amazing session, you know, back for more.
Let's go, let's go. Then we have a brother of mine, somebody I go way back with from before I was ever in content creation, and it's been so good to see him get monetized recently and be putting out some fire content. Can't wait for more, and we're here to discuss theories with him. We've got the man, the myth, the legend. We got Tainted Marth himself. What's good, bro?
Thanks for having me, man. Yeah, can wait to hear what other people here say, like especially about the recent chapters. Let's go for some fire takes.
Let's go, let's go. And then we have an absolute unit in the community, somebody who I'm sure needs no introduction, and again, somebody we've had on the channel before, and thank you for joining us again. Cannot wait to spit theories with you as well. We have the Chestnut Tanuki with us today. How you doing today?
Thank you for adding the. It makes me sound really professional when I got like the chestnut.
I got
Absolute
you.
W.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. And then
we like it.
As far as the representation of the Last Ark crew, we are joined with the historian of the Last Ark himself. We have Kube of the Red Sea here to cook with us. How you doing, bro?
What up, guys? Excited. It's one hell of a squad today, and I'm excited for it. Let's go.
Let's go indeed. And then last but certainly not least, we have the captain of the Last Ark himself, also like a brother to me, somebody who has been just such an influence in the positivity that I think me as well as a lot of other people try to bring to the platform. We have Straw Hat Lucas himself.
Oh, your kind words mean so much to me, Vex. Thank you so much. I'm very, very excited to cook with Middleway. Haven't had the chance to before. And as always, it's good to see my homie Marth back and my homie Chestnut back. So let's get into this.
Let's indeed. But before we start cooking a whole bunch of theories, we want to shout out to some of the goats in the chat. I see you, Kuso Land. Just an amazing, also a force of positivity and just such a talented individual who I definitely can't wait to get you onto one of these streams again. We cooked with him over on the stream of Liberation for quite a while, and yeah, I'm trying to get you locked in for another one. We've got SSJ8 Cody in the chat. That is the special grade sorcerer of the Last Ark himself. We love you, Cody. The Will of Dreams. We got Brandon King, Ghost Train of Thought. You guys are so goated. Make sure you like the stream. Check out all of our wonderful guests' links in the description and make sure to support them. And yeah, before I keep talking, you know, for like another hour and a half straight, does anyone have any specific topics they wanted to jump right into?
We could probably like cover some topics of the latest chapter. Like, how did you guys feel about it?
Yeah.
Dude, the scene of Bonnie looking up and seeing Luffy as Nika. Tears to my eyes, my man.
Listen, the latest chapter was so good. I don't know if I think Middleway. Are you on Twitter? Do you know what's happened on? Bro, when everybody was saying that Gear 5 was too goofy, like all these clowns were saying Gear 5 was too goofy, when I read that chapter and I was like, this is what the people were complaining about, I got like heated on my stream. Bro, I literally was screaming into my mic. I was like, what the hell?
No, I was there live, but I was cooking dinner, so I was kind of lurking, and you were like red in the face and like running out of breath and stuff. I was like, dang. And I put in the chat, I was like, yo, the Conquer's hockey burst from her right now is crazy. But yeah, that was wild, Chestnut. I wanted to also shout out to you on that. I just didn't know if we were going to talk about the chapter first, but the passion, I see it and I appreciate it. That was such a cool, like, I wanted to like clip it too. Like,
you should have clipped it. You should clip it and just post it places every time somebody says something fucking stupid. Oh, I shouldn't swear, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But it's so dumb.
Yeah, Twitter is toxic,
bro. Twitter is toxic in general. Every time like anything One Piece related on Twitter, like compared to all of the platforms, all the unhinged people just come out of the woodwork and start saying like crazy stuff. So yeah, that's Twitter's a hard place.
Twitter is it's a menace, man. It is just a menace to society at this point.
You know what? I have to, and middle, I have to give you props because I remember one day where you're brave enough to make a positive post about Sanji on Twitter, and I saw the responses. I think I responded to one of them also positively, but I said, man, if I'm on Twitter, I don't remember. It was one post, and basically, like it was rational. It was just a level-headed fear. It's something about Sanji's skills, and all I remember is I just remember people were just fuming because you mentioned Sanji.
Oh yeah, you can't be rational on Twitter. People are gonna roast you.
Exactly.
Listen, if you mention Sanji on Twitter, that's basically a war crime, bro.
Oh my goodness.
It really is. Middle Way is pushing the same agenda as me with Sanji, though, with that Conquerors hockey.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was like my biggest, that was probably the video, the Sanji Conqueror theory, probably the video that I'm most proud of, because Sanji is my favorite character. And if any of you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys know that like I'm basically talking about Sanji 24/7 on Twitter. Yeah.
I've been going on for the past, like, I don't know, what would you guys say, like 3 weeks now. I was like, Sanji's the next one. He's getting Conquerors hockey before we leave Egghead. And it's like even on my video card, I'm like, Sanji, Conquerors hockey. Let's go.
It's canon to me at this point. It's canon to me.
Entirely, brother. Entirely.
How do you guys feel about that, by the way? Like, what are your consensus on Sanji getting Conquerors or any other Straw Hats getting Conquerors?
I think
if Kid can have
go ahead. No, Cook.
I was gonna say I'm open-minded with who can have Conquerors hockey after Kid has Conquerors hockey.
For me, it's Don Chinjiao. Like when Don Chinjiao just came out here with like, I have Conquerors hockey too. I was just like, all right, we're just giving it to everybody. But no, I think a few people are gonna.
Boss, dude.
Yeah, I think a few people are gonna agree with me of the Straw Hats that. I mean, people might let me know, but I think of the Straw Hats that are probably the best candidates for Conquerors hockey, it's gonna be Sanji, Usopp, and Nami. Full stop.
What is it that Sanji wants to conquer? Like the hearts of all the women, or like I'm not going.
No, man.
I don't want to.
He's one of the wings of the.
No, listen. I really like Sanji, but like I don't think he has ambitions like any of the other people with conquerors.
That's fair. That's actually.
What was Ace trying to conquer?
That's actually one of the things that I bring up in the video if you ever get the chance to watch it. So I kind of break up like the types of conquerors to two types of conquerors, and like based on Buddhist ideology, I base it on like the story of like the Buddha and how he was meant to be basically a warrior king, but he went the route of a sage. And I think Oda is using that to make two different types of conquerors. The conquerors that are more like, I'm not going to chase something specifically. For example, Whitebeard. Whitebeard is not someone that's like, he didn't want to be Pirate King. He just wanted to have a family. Another example is somebody like Katakuri. Katakuri doesn't have any underlying like conquer type of mentality. Another person is like somebody like Yamato. So there's like section of conquerors that not necessarily want to conquer anything, but their ultimate goal is freedom.
Yeah,
and,
good points.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at the comments just now. It's so funny. But yeah, I get you. That makes sense. But still, I don't know. I mean, he gets it, but I kind of can't see it right now. But
yeah, you have to think too. Like, think about Zoro. The only reason Zoro unlocked Conquerors hockey is because his ambition has become Luffy's ambition. Like, they are fighting so hard to make Luffy the king of the pirates at this point that ambition entrances them as well. So it would make complete sense for Sanji, even if he doesn't have his own ambitions, to want Luffy to be Pirate King so badly that he also gets conquerors. Sorry, I was coughing in the middle of that. I'm trying not to.
No, you're good. I mean, that's also something that I think could be like, especially because given the nature of Luffy's fruit itself, if there's conquerors by proxy, or something like that, Real quick, I wanted to introduce another one of the last ARC crewmates who has just joined us. We have the musician of the crew, Joshua Vythor. How you doing, bro?
Yo, I'm good.
I know it's like super late for you right now, but yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, not really, not that late.
And then also got a shout out to the GOAT himself, the Little Garden. We got Terrible TJ, member for 9 months, saying like D stream and flexing some of those members only emotes. Thank you, brother. We love you, TJ. We got to get you back on here too, like soon. But yeah, I think Conquerors by Proxy is like inherited will. You know, like it's definitely something that's possible that kind of skews the lines of like, I don't know if Conquerors is necessarily like the perfect term for it as we see it fit, and I could go on for hours about how I think that most of the things that we know about hockey is just propaganda, so that it limits people's abilities to do what it can really do. Like how, you know, Luffy's only limitations are his imagination. I think that a lot more Devil Fruit and a lot more hockey abilities could go a lot deeper if people could imagine those, but after 800 years of them being told you can't do that, that's what they believe. And so specifically when it comes to Conquerors hockey, I think it's interesting that one of the first times that we see it exuded in mass at Amazon Lily, the Boa sisters specifically say that it's the will of the Supreme King and the qualities of the Supreme King. And that's like that makes it feel like there should only be one. But like obviously we've seen like I think 19 individuals with Conquerors hockey in the story at this point, so I think it's a little bit more up to interpretation than just what is this person trying to conquer, you know what I mean?
For sure, yeah. It's definitely complicated.
I've always had a theory that not in the same way that there are two types of conquerors. This is going more off of like Parvision's elemental hockey theory, but I always thought that there's the conqueror of people and like the conqueror of nature. And that certain people are able to like conquer nature and use their hockey in order to affect that. Similarly to how like Vivi did, where it's like Vivi was able to like make it rain, like what she called or whatever, or like Nami is able to like tell the storms. But then like there are people who can obviously conquer other people, and that's like the color of the Supreme King, and that's like the most common one. So I've always thought that there's like differences in Conquerors hockey, and that it doesn't like necessarily. It's not the same for everybody, basically.
Yeah, I agree.
Do we all think that you're born with it?
I think inherited will is something that, you know, means that it could be somewhere through the middle point. Like I don't know if like little, you know, 4-year-old Luffy was like straight up just born a conqueror and was like living his, but like somewhere along the way throughout his journey, and like I think, and it goes out of its way to show you in the first chapter that Luffy said like, I've been, you know, ever since I ate that fruit, I've been happier and things like that. Yeah. So like the fruit changes you from a genetic standpoint. Your lineage factor, which is equivalent to DNA, is altered. So does that mean you're like reborn? Because you're like a new entity after that. Like you've evolved like within there's not even like a full generational gap. You literally evolve on the spot when you eat it. So I mean, I don't know. It's a good question though. What do y'all think?
I certainly would. Sorry. I certainly would like it if they were not born with it, because like I'm like the chosen one trope and all that. I mean, it's unavoidable, but it would be cool if some can earn it like via hard work or whatever. So
I think it comes down to will and ambition, really. So I don't think you're born with it. If you have a strong will or you have the ambition to actually fulfill your dreams, then that's kind of like a prerequisite to having Conquerors hockey.
Yeah, I would add on, I think there's something important is something about your environment that pushes you to you know, not to be hopeless, you know, to act without a doubt. So the best example is Ace, Sabo, and Yamato. Like in the moments where we see in their backstory, and especially with Ace and Luffy, whenever we saw the Conquerors hockey, especially Marineford or Ace and the ASL flashback, it was in a moment of deep, you know, like they should have given up. But they react without a doubt that just Conquerors just came out of them. So I think it has something to do also with their, you know, the way they grew up. Like maybe Whitebeard had a rough upbringing, you know, and that, you know, formed his hockey to be at that level. And it's because also Rayleigh uses the term conquers hockey is when you act without a doubt. So I think it has to do something about, your environment as well.
Yeah, not to throw off the conversation, but I got to shout out my boy John Sherrod on all social medias in the chat. Yes, I'm still wearing the unicorn headphones. I have not bought a replacement pair yet.
Hey, that's not derailing the conversation. That's a conquer. That's a bona fide conquer right there. It was good. John
Yes,
Sherrod on all social media, guys. We love the OPU crew here.
And JJ, once I saw you, I had to turn on the headphone lights as well so that you could see my ears glowing.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, goodness.
But I think, like, as far as like which Straw Hats do get the conquers, I think like Sanji, it would just be a really interesting way of Oda writing it if Zoro gets like advanced conquers usage by the end of this, which like, and Sanji doesn't. Like, how are they going to keep their rivalry? Like, I think it's just kind of something that it's almost like it seems like it might be a given at this point. I also think that with Usopp, it's like, come on, we've all seen the breadcrumbs, leading all the way up to this. And then there's also Nami, and I want to let Chestnut cook on Nami after I read this super chat really quickly.
That's what I was about to do.
Yeah, we got a €5 super chat from Mr. Bushido and said, it's corrupting his mind. Blackbeard also has a god fruit, and which is why Blackbeard and Luffy instantly disliked each other. Their fruits sensed the other. I think that's really interesting. I do believe that there are other god fruits, but I don't know. Like, I don't have too many specific thoughts on them because we're still pretty far out on that. But
yeah,
I do.
I know.
So do I. But I would love, yes, for Chestnut to cook on Nami, like you said. I know she got that Nami agenda.
Bro, she absolutely is going to get conquers, especially when you're looking at the way that, number one, Oda's been foreshadowing it for so long that she's able to, like, hurt the will of other people, like Luffy and Zoro and Sanji, and that's how she's able to, like, injure them. It's like, come on. That's basically just, like, advanced conquers, right? We also have Jinbei literally stating, is that the color of the Supreme King? Yes, it is, Jinbei. But I also think it would make a lot of sense given the fact that she has this weird connection to the weather, and that's kind of where, like, my one theory was coming from, that she's, like, a conqueror of nature. Like, I would assume that eventually her powers are going to come to the point where, with, like, her climate attack and her control of Zeus, like, she'll be able to, like, cause different, like, weather casts, and, like, she'll be able to, like, use, like, the wind or something, like, to her advantage, and, like, be able to use, like, the hot and cold, how she does with her climate attack sometimes. I think that'd be, like, super interesting.
You think that her conqueror hockey will be so powerful it can literally alter the weather?
Yeah, and the thing is, we kind of see that already, don't we? Like, when we have like conquerors clashes, like, because let's think about it. If there's people who are only weather conquerors, right? If there's people who can conquer people, there's probably people who can do both. So, like, I would say, like, Shanks, Roger, Luffy, probably 3 people who could do both, and that's why, like, when they have conquerors clashes, they're able to affect, like, the weather. They're able to literally put away the clouds and split the sky. But what if there's people who can only cause it, like Vivi or Nami, where it's like they don't really have that power over other people, but they have it over their environment. And I feel like it'd be really interesting.
Like a conqueror of dominion more than a conqueror of people.
I'm about to get real controversial here. So this is partly why I brought it up as well. Because for one, I love the Nami agenda, but I also think that it ties into the fact that I don't believe that Dragon has a devil fruit, and I think that he is also a conqueror of weather.
I've made that theory before. I love it.
Yeah,
well,
I'm about it.
Chestnut said with the weather thing, I thought back to Vivi when she conjures the rain in Alabasta.
Yeah, I think there's definitely multiple like breadcrumbs of that type of thing happening. And then to juxtapose that, the conquering of oneself and things like that, we have our favorite starfish Papagu, who just like learned sentience and conversation, became a successful he became a successful entrepreneur. Dude is living his best life. That's a conqueror right there. I think it comes in many shapes and forms, but I absolutely do believe in, and it's adjacent to, like you said, Par's elemental hockey theory as well from way back when. And I think that the lines between hockey have been, you know, propagandized for 800 years, so that people just think that they can only do like a certain amount of things, like, oh, it's either rock, paper, or scissors, but actually there's like 1,000 other things that they can do. I think very few individuals are aware of how they can interact with hockey truly. on purpose, but I think there are latent users like Nami and Vivi. But I think that Dragon and even Shanks are people who are fully aware of the limitations,
like the reaches of hockey.
Yeah, the limitations or the lack thereof of hockey. You know what I mean? That's my 2 cents.
Yes, Marth.
I mean, they do say like a D will always bring another storm, right? So would make sense in that.
And my favorite piece to fit this as well is like, we all know that hockey is a manifestation of one's will. And if you go back to the ASL flashback in the chapter where Dragon like starts the uprising in the Goa Kingdom, it says like, you know, hey, like if you're tired of how this is, join my cause and stuff like that. The chapter is literally called The Will of the Wind.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Like it's right there.
Yeah,
it's right there.
Literally.
We got
while
another
we're on the subject. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, yeah, we got another €5 super chat from Mr. Bushido. Thank you, brother. You're so kind, and we love it. We made a whole emoji in the server for you. Everybody check the link in the description for the TLA Discord server so you can make them carrots rain.
Agenda. Yes, make the carrots rain for Mr. Bushido.
He said Nami is a daughter of Morgan's, who is Spencer from the Roger Pirates. I believe she has a mermaid and skyfolk blood in her. She has not awakened her potential. That is a theory I think I have heard before, and that is super crazy. Go ahead, Lucas, before we unpack that one.
Yeah, I had 2 things to say before you read that, but after you've read that, Morgan's was only like 14 years old at God Valley. I don't think he...
15.
15? Okay, yeah, thank you. Now, I don't think he joined... I don't think he was part of the Roger Pirates, but you do you, Bushido. Before I get into what I was going to say, the question I was going to ask, I would say this, is that thematically, it would make a lot of sense for the East Blue 5 to have hockey, like conference hockey.
I agree.
To set them up as like, they were the core group to start with. I mean, we all call them the East Blue 5 for a reason. Like, they are the core Straw Hats when you think of the Straw Hats. So it would make sense so much thematically for them to be the conquerors of the crew. That said, I do think Jinbei as well will have it. Now, the question I wanted to ask, though, since we're on the subject of hockey, is what other crew members do you think will unlock different types of hockey? Like right now on my bingo card for the year, I have a Robin unlocking armament hockey. And I would love to know if you guys think anybody else on the crew besides like those core 5 are going to get conquerors, armament, observation, anything like that.
I have a crazy take along the lines of that. I think Jinbei already has Conqueror's hockey.
Oh, let's go.
I do too. I would love to hear your reasoning.
Yeah, I think he already has it, and he just hasn't shown it. Because to me, right? Okay, I don't think Oda would make the strongest fishman not have Conqueror's hockey throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
Or at least show a fishman that has Conqueror's hockey throughout the whole show. So I think, I think he already has it. But for some reason, the reason that I mentioned last stream, I don't want to get into too much here, but I think he has it, but he just doesn't want to show it.
Or maybe Fishman Karate itself is a form of Conqueror's hockey.
Then maybe in the extreme forms of Fishman Karate, the better you are with hockey, and if you are a conqueror, you could like take it to the extreme form. Like I remember I was just rewatching Impel Down, and I remember they said when Jinbei was able to command the whales, right? He was able to command the whales, but somebody interested said, "Hey, I heard only merfolk, because apparently only merfolk could command other fish." And they were like, "Hey, Jinbei, I thought only merfolk were able to command other fish. How come you are able to command whales?" So maybe that's like an extension of like Conqueror's hockey, that he could command like other animals. So that's interesting.
Yeah, like it's been discussed before, it's control over nature, control over water.
I think this kind of goes in hand with like the voice of all things, or as I like to refer to it, is the voice of some things, because I think that there's people who have like a slice of the pie, but they don't really have the whole pie, and then there's people who maybe potentially have the whole like suite of things. But like I write like One Piece D&D stuff, and so like I had to try to figure out how am I gonna mechanically represent the voice of all things as like as like feats that characters or NPCs can like have and stuff like that. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna have it specialized. So there's like talking with beasts like we see Luffy doing, and then there's like maybe talking with nature like we see Nami doing, and then there's also like speaking with, like, I think there's multiple different facets, but specifically with Jinbei being able to like have the speech of the sea as the first son of the sea. Yeah, exactly. Zoro hearing inanimate objects, like the world around him, like itself, and then even people speaking, you know, or hearing the future, like Charlie when she was using her crystal ball and things like that. I think that it kind of like, I think the voice of all things and hockey are something kind of intertwined, and that's like kind of where we start to blur the lines a little bit, and it becomes more specialized, something closer to like again, I'm just going to mention it again, like elemental hockey, but I think that it's kind of a little bit more broad than that as well. But it's definitely not just rock, paper, or scissors. You know what I mean?
Like, we have another $2 super chat from Mr. Bushido saying, "How did Morgan's fact check Roger finding the One Piece?" He did not. No one knew about the One Piece until Roger said it at his execution. From what I understand.
The interesting thing is, what's up, Polly Pete? I see you in the chat. Shout out to my guy. But no, there's also the interesting thing is that Morgan's was specifically cursed for propagandizing the events at God Valley. And this dude would have been 14 years old, unless there's like a line of like big news Morgan's that have been like, you know, and there's like a family name, but who knows? Like, maybe when we figure out more about God Valley, which we will eventually, we'll get that answer.
Yeah, just to go back to what Vex was saying, because I agree with what he just said, because I believe the next one will show a level up in hockey is Brook. And I think he's going to find a way to fuse his music that he was doing in Fishman Island, you know, hypnotizing people, but with actual observation hockey. Like really affect their soul from within. Like people's soul will be affected by it. So I don't know how we would name it, if it's a new form of hockey or not, but a way to use the ability to how to hear someone else's voice or sense people with observation hockey due to his music.
Well, see, that's what, when Vex was talking about the voice of all things, and then you bringing that up, that's what I always think. When Brooke praises music and it touches people's souls the way it does, I think it's more of him tapping into the voice of all things than using hockey. But maybe they're one and the same, you know, like we don't know until we have those answers.
True.
I wonder though, like, this kind of opens up the conversation. Do you guys think basically everything is hockey? Like hockey is basically the source to all the powers in One Piece, whether it be devil fruits, whether it be fishman karate, whether it be the mink lightning. It just all has a base of how people originally use hockey.
I don't actually. I think that hockey is the natural, like it's like some sort of inexplicable, like you know, force that, you know, those that are sentient, like or inherited, like the wills of others can exude and things like that. And hockey itself. Yo, shout out to Kev DOG. What's good, man? We have so many goats here. We love you. But yeah, we I think hockey is like the more natural side of things, and it can represent things like potentially fishman karate and like certain facets of the voice of all things. And then I think that the other power system present in One Piece, it's not actually just plain and simple devil fruit, but devil fruit are included in this. I think it's technology. And technology are things that are not inherently natural. And when we got to, you know, talking to Vegapunk and learning about like the little tiny breadcrumbs we got on like his theories on the origin of devil fruit, we're led to believe that they are not a natural thing. This is some form of technology that Mother Nature or the Mother Ocean is not a fan of. So I'm thinking that the two main power systems in One Piece, we've thought for a really long time, it's hockey and devil fruits. I think it's hockey and technology, and devil fruits fall into the category of technology because there's also raid suits. That's not hockey. And like even like when you think about it, like science in general, which is a more broad term than technology, can explain electro. because electro is just the friction that's a quantifiable force, from the static force, static electricity collecting from the friction of the mink's fur, and just the fact that they're able to control it. Maybe that's a blending of science and their will, and so that's like a specialized form of hockey. But that's like so it's weird where you draw the lines. But I think that technology is the main thing that actually is the other power system. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I have to disagree with that. Because when Vegapunk described the devil fruits, he very heavily implied that devil fruits come from dreams. Haki is willpower and devil fruits represent the dreams. This is why Haki can overcome devil fruit powers. Willpower can overcome dreams.
So, Josh, do you think that devil fruits are like people's dreams manifested entirely?
Yeah. I mean, this is a phenomenon that's happening in the world of One Piece. It's just unexplained science. And maybe in the world century, people can weaponize it.
See, I could see like where he was talking about like devil fruits and dream, like desire. I think was it desire that was the official, or was it dreams that was the official?
Yeah, I think it's a desire, the desire of the people of the past.
And the thing about technological advancements is those can also be brought through desire and things like that, or like even if there was like a way to, I don't know, I think it could be deeper, and I don't think that point immediately discredits what I was saying, but I see what you are getting at.
So I also think that like I think that hockey covers things like 6 powers. I think that it's an offshoot. Like I always see hockey as like a giant like game tree, right? Like you have like your skill tree and you can unlock certain things. So it's like you have base hockey. You can put all of your skills into 6 power techniques or armament or observation. So that's kind of how I saw like, and like Fishman Karate, like probably an offshoot of that. Then there's the science aspect, but for devil fruits, and I think that somebody in the chat had said it, and I had made a video about it when the chapter dropped. But I think it's magic. Like I think it's like magic, or like literally like Full Metal Alchemist, where it's like you want something, so equal exchange. And it's one of the reasons why I think that devil fruits, like they hold souls of people, because to get power beyond human imagination, you need to give like equivalent exchange, basically. So they were probably using people in order to make devil fruits.
Yeah, see, that's what I think as well. I've been a big proponent. I actually have a theory video coming out very, very soon about how sacrifices are tied to devil fruits and the way they are made through like the Great Cleansings, Buster Calls, these culling games that the Celestial Dragons play and everything. So I'm really into that. I like the idea that, because if you think about it, if you're wanting something, like, I hate to give like terrible examples, but I have to. Imagine you're burning to death. In that moment, your will to try and control those flames are higher than ever before. Maybe you need that level of stress and willpower to produce the devil fruit. So if you're mass burning people, then a devil fruit that allows controlling fire would be born from that. But that also ties into the coming from like will or dreams as well. It's wanting something so badly in that moment is what creates the devil fruit.
I have a crazy theory for you.
I also want to say that, go back with the point of magic. I mean, magic is just unexplained rules of the universe. Yeah. What people don't understand just called magic. I don't think it's something greater than that. It's just science of the One Piece world.
So do you guys think that we're actually going, like somebody is going to come along, like in the future of the story, maybe in Elbaf, that actually explains to us that magic is an actual power system that's maybe an extension of hockey?
It could be like, we still don't have any explanation for Kuro's abilities to attack, Django's ability to hypnotize, like things like that. So I mean, it definitely could be. It's a possibility for sure.
Like from normal people's perspective, hockey is magic. Devil fruits are magic.
Yeah.
I mean, the same could be said about technology.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, I think there is a line of distinction. But yeah, I think that we clearly are not supposed to know where that is right now.
Cube, you're trying to say something. What's up?
Yeah, sorry. I think Oda was stating in SBS or something like that Kuro was tapping into the Rokushiki there, but he couldn't fully control it.
Yeah, he got like half shave. He got like the shave at home, you know.
We've got hockey at home.
Yeah, he got the Wish brand version of shave.
The Dollar General hockey.
It's not the Chic Quattro, it's like the Chic Duo. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead, Cube. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for me, is the best example is there's something that I think Oda hasn't added to it is hockey, magic is all the same thing. Like at least what we're talking about is the reason why it's so diverse in that way is because One Piece is based on different culture. And I think depending on Skypians, they call observation hockey mantra. Mostly Rio and Wano is not called armament hockey, it's mostly called Rio. Even though they call hockey for everything, the people who are not from Wano, they call Rio advanced armament only. They don't call the whole bracket. I think there's something about the way the culture see it. So I think there might be a culture that they themselves will call magic. And I think it's a tree. It's like the tree of knowledge. And like hockey is the different names of it as well. Voice of All Things is also part of it. And I think like it could be the name of the real power system. It could be life, you know. And hockey is among that life. Technology is also part of that life. It's this artificial life that became somewhat semi-natural. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's how I see it. It's part of a grand project.
Did someone mention Elbath?
Oh my goodness!
I did,
yeah.
Something
I don't want to derail the conversation, but I just heard mantra, and it just reminded me of I'm not a power scaler at all, but I saw the stream with you, Tanuki, at some days ago, where you were like the top 50 strongest characters.
Oh God.
No, don't worry. I just heard mantra, right? And I was baffled at how many people put Enel like so low on their tier list, and it's confusing to me because like the guy had like mantra or like observation haki that enabled him to hear or see people doing shit like miles away. Like, that's insane. The only reason he lost to Luffy was because he was made of rubber. So I think Enel is highly underrated. Like, as I said, it's probably derailing the conversation, but I need to talk about that.
But Enel doesn't have advanced observation though, and we actually know that from the fight with Luffy. If he had any advanced observation, he would have seen that Luffy wouldn't get damaged, and he probably wouldn't have done certain moves. He would have only done slashing moves from the beginning.
Yeah.
The other thing is that he doesn't have a lot of really good speed feats. Like, I know that his lightning travels really fast, but he himself doesn't have good like distance or travel speed. His AP is insane. Like but he's also a glass cannon. Like the fact that Luffy was able to beat him at like Sky Pia level, any advanced armament user, or to be honest, any person who has like significant control of their devil fruit, so like an awakened devil fruit or like armament, like they're probably going to be able to just beat him right away. Like I would say like post time skip Zoro from Fishman Island could probably take on Enel.
I don't know about that.
But imagine Enel actually like handling armament hockey and all that. Like the dude would be unstoppable almost. Like in
I
my
think
opinion,
the thing about him is he had a pretty decent fight IQ, because when he realized after probably not quick enough, but when he realized that straight electric bursts weren't going to do anything, and he started heating the gold and things like that, and the fact that he knew to use his power, even though like his devil fruit, to enhance his mantra to like a radius that was way like infinitely larger than any of the other like priests could or anything like that. Like he had a bag, you know. He I would say he had a pretty decent fight IQ. He just wasn't an actual fighter. He was like, he's so so used to like negative diffing everybody that when it came to like a war of attrition or something like that, or just anything longer than like a 2-second fight, he didn't necessarily have like the experience that obviously we've seen Luffy, exude and things like that.
Yeah, he's also way too high up on his horse as well. But yeah, totally agree.
But I think what NL has going for him is that like literally since the only reason why he lost was because Luffy was rubber, there's basically very little people in the verse that could just consistently keep dodging his lightning. And I would say that the weakest, the strongest person that NL would beat would be like somebody on the lower end of somebody's top 20 or top 30. Yeah. But like, although he would be a glass cannon, like I think that he would put more hurt on you. Like, for example, okay, like let's put it like this. I don't want to upset Kid fans.
Don't do it.
But
he did not do it.
Pull that trigger.
Oh my goodness.
But just think about like Kid versus NL. Like, how would that like go down? Like, what would Kid realistically be able to do against NL?
I've thought about this a lot.
NL doing something first.
I've thought about this a lot because if you apply electricity to magnetism, it either does two things. It'll either destroy the magnetic field or it'll amplify the magnetism. Like,
listen, Kid and the dude combined, and we have the mother frame. There you go.
I have to.
Whoa.
That would be interesting. But I actually want to revisit the conversation you guys were talking about magic and sacrifice and alchemy, because I actually have a theory that so do you guys know that like how Saturn said that he was a scientist?
Yeah.
I actually believe that the type of science that Saturn does is alchemy, which would be, let's say, the highest level of science. And I go even further to say that when we were talking about sacrifices, I actually think that God Valley was a sacrificial ritual.
And that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, I think so as well, because I think that's how like I said, I think that's how devil fruits are born. I've been thinking about that as well when it comes to what type of scientist he is, because like obviously I don't think anyone here would disagree that Saturn's old as shit. Like that dude is old, possibly even immortal from what we've seen. So it would make sense that unless he's a fraud, is that what you said?
He's actually the Benjamin Button of the One Piece world. Like he's like 12.
But it would make sense that his science would be what we consider archaic in our world, if we're applying the same logic to the One Piece world. Like, so back then, alchemy was just science. Like, that's just how you did science. You're like, yeah, I'll drink that potion of mercury and lead. That'll make me live forever. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, it would make sense, too, that, like, that is his type of science. Also, I got to shout out my homegirl, KY Ty, in the chat. That's a friend from Facebook, so what is up?
We gotta shout out Desness as well in the chat, and we also have another €5 super chat from Mr. Bushoda. We have Lafitte will use. Oh my god! Sorry, it got away from me. I gotta scroll up. Lafitte will use
his hypnotic powers on Bonnie, turning her evil and giving Blackbeard command of the pacifistas. And
that's crazy. That's
check Polypede Caribou video for context. Shouting out Polypede is dope. Yeah,
absolutely.
We don't know if she has control of the Seraphim yet, though. I will say that, but I do like the thought of that's because I do think Blackbeard's wanting control of the Seraphim and Pacifista, but I never like toyed around with that idea.
The way that it was worded, it was every clone, or everyone that took your father's form. So I think S Bear is kind of a given, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't think the rest of them.
Yeah. And obviously, my counter on this whole thing is hypnosis doesn't force someone to do that. It's not in their nature, as well. Like that would be full blown, mind control. So I just don't see it going full evil. It would just, create shortcuts.
Yeah, but I'm super glad that you brought the conversation back to like magic and technology and things like that, and where the line might be blurred between those. Because I did also have a point that I wanted to bring up. Do you guys think that potentially what Vegapunk was about to say in that unfinished thought, like, oh, the Buccaneers, not only for their strong bodies were known for ... like when we just got completely like cliffhanged there, like, do you think that might have something to do with potentially this magic that we speak of, and because of Vegapunk being able to study the Buccaneer lineage and the like Kuma's body and things like that, that's partly what put him, so ahead of where even someone like the likes of Saturn would have been? Because we saw that before the Kuma stuff, like over on Karakuri Island, he was already an advanced scientist, but he wasn't able to complete his inventions to the degree that he was until later on. And we didn't like I don't know, it's interesting to think that maybe that like whatever that trait was, maybe it wasn't like magic per se, but like something important about the Buccaneers was what helped Vegapunk get to the point where he got in his studies to make Egghead a possibility in the first place.
Yeah.
What do you guys think what do you guys think he was gonna say? Any guesses of like the secret of the Buccaneers? Because I can't imagine like
it could be anything.
It could be friendship.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
I can say kind of something similar. I think it's like it has something to do with the will. I think their will is so strong that like you can't like actually break it, and maybe that's why they were wiped out, kind of thing. The power of friendship.
Yeah.
Like,
the power of friendship. I actually think that it is something like along where it's like they just can't be controlled by like science, basically. And I think that's one of the reasons why like the science of the ancient kingdom was like they want it to be gone, like they want to erase all traces of it, because it could be possible that like there was stuff to actually like control people, and they had stuff, and the Buccaneer race was able to not only like destroy the majority of this stuff, but also could like get free from it. Like let's say they literally made them cyborgs. Oh well, they could just like break free and then use this power to like go against them. So it could be that Saturn got cocky and was like, yo, we're going to like try to erase this will for good in him and use him to oppress people, even though like the Buccaneer race is clearly like the freedom people. So could be something along those lines.
Have you guys ever like heard of the idea that Blackbeard could be a Buccaneer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Real quick to tie in with that, we have another €2 from Mr. Bushido 56. You're freaking legendary, brother. Thank you for this. We really appreciate it.
My gas tank this month.
Like, he said Blackbeard once posed devil fruit and he failed, but there is a snake. Yes, I'm sure we will all cook on that. And also shout out to 3-day trip for 5 last start gifted memberships. Oh man, let's go. You got some goats with that one for sure. And but on the Blackbeard like train of thought, I think that if he does acquire S Snake, it's not through Bonnie manipulation, because again, I don't think she can affect the rest of the Seraphim. I think it's through Saturn himself, because he has another authority chip or one of the satellites, but Saturn's obviously the biggest fish there. Sorry, I'm gonna let you go ahead, Middleway, because I totally cut you off, but I wanted to hit that super chat.
No, you're good. Because I was gonna think about the idea that if because I don't think so, I'm not sold on it, but if Blackbeard is what's the race again? If Blackbeard is a Buccaneer, maybe what Vegapunk was about to explain is something that has to do with the devil fruit, because maybe the Buccaneers were able to eat multiple devil fruits. And I'm not sure how that would correlate to him being free from the science thing, but it could bleed into the idea that their willpower is different.
Yeah, I like I've heard of the Blackbeard being a Buccaneer. I didn't put that much stock. It could be, it could not be. But the reason why I really like it, for the side I like it, is it would give context of what Saturn said it after Marineford about Blackbeard's body. Now, and think of Saturn's obsession with Buccaneers, him believing, of course, his body, he has that unique body. Maybe mentioning that because he's Buccaneer, he's able to do that.
Would definitely explain his durability. Yeah.
I was also, somebody brought it up to me that it could be something like if they had multiple wills and like the fruits were stored in the wills, and like I was just like, what, like all for one, or like the Avatar state or something, and then the person was talking me. Yeah, I don't remember who else. Yeah, it might have been you, but I was just like, you mean like, and then minds were blown, and I was like, yo, that would be so interesting if that was it, you know what I mean?
What do you guys think they're even doing over there? That's something that I've been scratching my head on for Blackbeard and his crew. Like, what do you guys think they're possibly like doing? Maybe the Seraphim, I could get behind that, but do you guys think there's anything more? And why is Oda kind of being so secretive about what they're doing to the point we haven't even seen them in the chapters?
I think the thing is that Blackbeard by design is somebody who is and we're gonna do like the thing we do with Oda's, writing tropes and whatnot. We're gonna point out some parallels and inversions, and there's obviously a lot of parallels based off of behavior and a lot of inversions between Luffy and Blackbeard. Given like the scene in Jaya where the whole dreams never die, and the cherry pie and lemonade situation, which is such an amazing scene to revisit and read and things like that. But you could see clearly right away how similar but very juxtaposed these two characters are inherently without even knowing each other. And then we get to the point at post Wano where Luffy was so lackadaisically willing to share his dream with the rest of his crew. He's like, oh, sorry, yeah, I guess I just haven't told you guys. And he just blasts it out loud and just like says his whole goal. We didn't hear it, but the fact that he was just so willing to tell all of the Straw Hats gives me the inclination that Blackbeard is not willing to tell his true motives to even his closest. And with the fact that Kuzan, I can't call him that anymore, but with the fact that Kuzan is there, and Kuzan has been shown to be untrustworthy by multiple of his other top operatives and things like that, I'm pretty sure he's even less inclined to share that information publicly. So the information that we perceive as Blackbeard's actual true motives, there's no way that's actually it. It's just like how, becoming the king of the pirates is a stepping stone for Luffy. I think that becoming a recognized nation by the celestial dragons, I think there's no way that's Blackbeard's endgame. It's a stepping stone. Sure. And he's not going to be so willing to just divulge that information to the rest of his crew in the way that Luffy was. Just that's my 2 cents, just because we see that they are so inversed from each other in certain ways. I think that's one of the ways that they're inverted.
I do think he hasn't told most of his crew about his dreams, but I do think that Luffy probably knows everything. What were you gonna say?
Sorry, I want to try to answer the question that was asked though. I think his motives maybe to get himself a Vegapunk, and we have a potential candidate there that possibly could join his crew, right? Because the chances for her to still become a Celestial Dragon are getting like smaller and smaller. So I can totally see her ending up in Blackbeard's crew instead.
That's valid. I think.
I believe that Blackbeard is gonna kidnap Edison.
Yeah, same.
It's interesting.
He's small and easy to pick up.
Oh my goodness.
And also think of Vegapunk's dream. Vegapunk's dream is the same as Tesla. The biggest rival of Nikola Tesla was Thomas Edison. And you think of also think of how Blackbeard does stuff. He's very, very smart, like a fox. Like he always goes by the option you never think of. He will take the outcome that you're not expecting. He's going to this path. Like what would be the one satellite that might make him the most? The one that has all the ideas. Maybe there are some brainstorming ideas that Edison never came to a conclusion. Edison could be interesting. There might be something.
I thought he was the traitor when we were still doing the whole murder mystery. Who's the traitor thing?
Yeah,
I thought it was Edison at the time. I was like, that robot is way too cute. Like he's way too small. That dude's cooking something up.
To get back to his motives, though, I agree. I think that he initially was pulling up to Egghead to be like, all right, let's snag us a Vegapunk because they probably have the highest of authority chips. And in turn, that can lead to him getting the Seraphim. So it's a win-win. And you're taking resources from the front lines of the government, which is also another win, right? And we talked about this whenever we had you on Middleway a couple weeks back. Everybody make sure you check out that stream after this one. It was tons of spice. And I'm loving the conversations we're having now. But I think that the thing is once he gets to this island, or whoever he sent to this island gets here and realizes that there is a much, much, much bigger fish than a Vegapunk, he will put his eyes onto the Gorosei. So that's my whole thing. It might have been his initial intention to be like, all right, let's snag us a Vegapunk. So we can.
I like that. I like that really out of left field take too. That like he's going there to get Saturn's power or fruit, whatever you want to call it.
I don't see any way of him knowing that Saturn was there.
Yeah.
Except for Lafitte. And so my big thing about Blackbeard is that the reason that Blackbeard is trying to like join the world government, like he said he was making his move, he's trying to like join the world government, become a government affiliated island. Why is he doing this? And when you look back, but here's the thing, like when you look back at what he was doing with the warlord situation pre-time skip, it makes a lot of sense. If it worked once, like if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So the reason he's trying to get into that is because he probably wants to get into Mary Joie. Now, why would he want to go to Mary Joie? What is underneath there? What is something that he possibly could want? The treasure that's underneath, the thing that Doflamingo stated. I think what Blackbeard is trying to do is that he knows that a Gorosei was coming because of Lafitte. We know that Lafitte is able to sneak up on multiple world leaders. He was able to sneak up on Mihawk. This man probably has some of the best observation in the verse, right? Like, he knew exactly where Shanks was just with his observation hockey. This man was able to sneak up on him during when the Warlord meeting was. He probably knows what's going on. The fact that we haven't...
Oh, sorry. Go on.
No.
Go on.
I'll make this short. But basically, when you're looking at Blackbeard's true plans, what if he goes to the island? And I've always said this. I think Saturn dies. I don't think Saturn survives. Yeah, but if he goes to the island,
I hope
Blackbeard kills him, but frames it on the Straw Hats and protects the Navy from whatever happens. We already know that Bragi and Dory are coming. Imagine if the Blackbeard pirates show up after saying they wanted to join the world government and save a bunch of Marines and say, we couldn't save the Gorosei, but we defended them and try our best. And every Marine is with them or hypnotized to say that or even coerced. I think that would probably make it more likely that Blackbeard is now hailed as this hero and is able to join the world government. And I think that's the big thing, is that Hachinosu will become a government-affiliated island.
Yeah, Vex, and
Chestnut, wait, Lucas, to jump in and think of this, Chestnut. Added to that, what if added to that he doesn't keep Saturn dead? Think of it, Katla Devon is nowhere to be found. The first time that Moria saw Absalom as Katla Devon, they made him believe that he was still alive until they revealed it. Like, be able to impersonate a Gorosei opens any door in the world. There's also that possibility.
Do you think that the Gorosei are stupid enough to fall for someone mimicking one of them?
But imagine you go to Impel Down and then you see a ship with a Gorosei on it. The guards of Impel Down will automatically. That's what I'm saying. That you don't need to go to Mary Joie or call the Goroseis. You could pull up anywhere other than Mary Joie. People will be scared enough to open any door, any vault.
But the problem with that, Cube, they will have to get the original Saturn, because I think that version there is just a summoned Saturn. And I think if she touches him, she probably can only transform into whatever that thing is, right? In Ushioni. But so they would have to go to the ship where Saturn is actually on, so she can touch him.
Oh yeah, for sure, because I do believe that he's not really.
But I still need to dig in here, because like we touch in this right now. It's my agenda, so I have to address it. Right, it was my very first theory. So Hattori is still a thing. Like, I still think he's Lafitte.
Let's
go.
Yeah. And Tanuki already mentioned it. Like, there's no explanation how he got up to Marie Joas unless he's sitting on Lucci's shoulder the whole time, right? And probably he's sneaking out all these information and also is able to catch all these transitions that they're with the black transponder snails or whatever that they are sending back and forth. So he might have already heard about what's going on there.
To go back to what Chestnut was saying, though, me, Vex, and our wonderful special grade sorcerer Cody were cooking that on Chadmirals one time about Blackbeard taking out Saturn, and then using that as a way to kind of better himself in the eyes of the world government. What do you think his end goal though is there? Do you think it is to sit on the empty throne and take over the rest of the world?
Lucas, remember Drum Island? Remember what Dalton said about Blackbeard? It seemed that they didn't find what they were looking for. And Drum Island, and Penguin Castle are parallel. Are one-to-one. I think there is something, and I think that's his end goal. The whole thing. There is something he needs to get. There is something.
So the treasure underneath Marie's Well, I think that
or something.
Was the treasure under Marie's
Well? That's what I'm thinking. I think eventually Blackbeard is also going to absorb Emu like a homunculus and become.
Let's go. Here we go.
What?
That's what I said in my last theory. Exactly that. Love that theme. Tanuki. Sorry.
I really like the Hattori idea, but you know what? I don't actually think Hattori is him. I'd rather like the idea that he can create pigeon. He can create pigeon clones, just like how, for example, Karasu can create like Crow clones, and they can relay the information back to him.
In my opinion, there's even a better example for that. Big News Morgans. I think all the news coups are actually like creations of his devil fruit.
Yeah,
he's like he's like the Itachi of the One Piece verse.
Listen, no, it makes sense because he's not only delivering newspapers, but with every news coup that's flying around, he's collecting information at the same time.
That's true.
And whenever one of them comes back to him, he probably absorbs these informations.
I would love so much if Oda did incorporate birds aren't real into One Piece. Like that's that is like
birds work for the bourgeoisie.
I mean, I like that, Mark, because I've recently thought to the idea that I think the person who told Stussy to join Cypherpol is Big News Morgan, because she's like his guest. They come together at Whole Cake. At the end, he tells her, I'm happy that Strauss is on our side. And weirdly enough, he knew that there was a Cypherpol agent posing in his news coup. And he knew who it was exactly. He knew how to defend himself.
Yeah.
So I do like that, that he uses his business as well to keep an eye on the world.
Yeah.
For sure.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
So actually, I might have a... Oh, wait, unless someone wants to go deeper on it, because then I might have a pivot question.
No, go ahead. Do you think?
Okay, because I remember Cheston and I, when the chapter came out and I was on her stream, and she said we're going to cook on it. I want to talk about, it's now I think 10 chapters in the past, but Ginny being taken when she shows up 12 years ago. During those 2 years, there is Law that got the amber-lead disease and ate the opeoponomy, a very rare fruit that just appeared in the North Blue, and around the same 1 year later on, the Gomu also appears. Mm-hmm. So I always felt like there's a correlation with people getting sick, maybe desiring, and like the fruit that heals all illnesses, or at least can help you become the best doctor, and the fruit that liberates everyone pops it around the same time. So I wanted to cook a bit on it, like, do you have some ideas on it, or
I think that definitely makes sense, and I would like go back to Vegapunk's idea that like devil fruits come from dreams, because it could be that when all those things were happening, all the amber-lead disease, some people were collectively praying for a cure, and that manifested Law's devil fruit, or at least it didn't create Law's devil fruit, but maybe maybe the will of the fruit attracted him more. So that's very interesting. Yeah, that get into a lot of different categories, because it also gets into the idea that Nika's fruit was evading everybody until Luffy was born.
Yeah, and you think of the era of the revolutionary, and of all things, it went to someone from the East Blue, and the person who just disappeared around that same time is someone who is known to leak information about devil fruits to the whole world, able to hack into leaks and stuff like that. And we don't know how Shanks knew that the ship in transit was holding that fruit. Like he knew exactly where the ship was.
This is interesting. I'll have to go in a few, but I want to go into this because it's very interesting, because it goes back to our beginning conversation about people thinking that Luffy's Gear 5th is goofy. Do you guys actually think that at any point in the story, Luffy is going to be taken over by Nika? Because I was thinking, I'm like, low-key, although I don't agree that Gear 5th is goofy, I do think that like it's kind of out of touch for Luffy to be kind of laughing and like playing around while like there's like Vegapunk is impaled, his crew is in trouble, like
I don't necessarily think that he'll turn into Nika, but I do think that his wills will align so perfectly with Nika that it'll be like almost a second level to Gear 5. As far as like people thinking that like him laughing and stuff is out of character, yes, it is out of character, but it's Nika means smile in Japanese, like, or laughter or something of that along those lines. So I think that it's not necessarily his, because we've seen him be serious in Gear 5 when he was fighting Kaido with the angry eyebrows and everything, but he still wore that smile. It's less of a serious like sadness or anything like that, and more of a like. I think it's. I don't know. I'm kind of losing my train of thought here, but at the same time, I think that he's laughing because he knows no matter what, he's going to liberate this island. Like that kind of thing. Like, I'm laughing because no matter what, I'm going to win.
Somebody brought it up that there was I don't remember exactly where it was, if it was in SBS or if it was in volume 4 billion or something like that, but there's apparently a reported text, and I might paraphrase this and I apologize, but it was written by Oda or one of his editors, and it stated that it was like a concept art of Gear 5, and it said like the warrior of liberation, sun god Nika, who gets stronger the more he laughs.
I can send that in chat.
Yeah, so
if anyone wants to see it.
So yeah, so somebody did bring that up as well, and I think that that's also really important to think. And like at the core of what like this story is it's goofy, it's absurd, it's something that, you know, it's going to, it's Oda's been subverting our expectations for, you know, over 1,000 chapters for some of us for like 25 years. I haven't been caught up for that long, but still like for over 25 years even. But like it's not crazy to think that, you know, like there could be some sort of like I don't think that Luffy is going to be taken over by like Nika per se. I think that that's part of like the conquering will and things like that, is that he's able to harness it. But similar to like when he was first exhibiting like Gear 2 to us in Eni's lobby, there might be potential drawbacks that could seem similar, like him laughing uncontrollably. Like, cause I brought this up in another stream. I think it was when I was cooking with Polypede on the Rose School podcast. And I was just like, yo, like the first scene in the anime, when you hear Luffy's voice actor, Mayumi Tanaka, in Japanese, like uncontrollably laughing. I think this was actually on Chadmiral's, sorry, but yeah, during like the Kaido fight, like, and you hear just this rampant uncontrollable laughter. I'm just like I was concerned for a minute. I was like, yo, breathe, like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like,
it was Chadmiral's. Yeah, well, no, yeah, but what Vex is saying is that like it's almost like Luffy's in pain. Like, yeah, and I agreed with this too, because Colin Clinkenbeard said that she has never had more direction from the series of One Piece than when she was getting ready to do like the upcoming Gear 5 scenes for the English dub, and like how to do the laugh and how they wanted the laugh to sound and to come across and stuff. So I think there is layers to that.
Yeah, there's actually something that I always thought, like, you know, because, you know, Nika looks amazing. He's, you know, he's the joy boy. He's always laughing. And I said, there must be everything in One Piece. The Orochi storyline is the best example. We do understand that there's basis of why he acted that way. You know, the way he was persecuted because of what his family done. So basically he inherited an issue that wasn't his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like Whitebeard telling that to Ace, you're not your father. Why would I be upset with you? Because Roger's your father. I said, there must have been a reason. And I've always thought of, you know, the scene where in Alabasta, where Vivi talks about, you know, people are going to die, and Luffy just says people die. You know, when he tells the hard truth. But what happens when he's overtaken by Nika, and you get that same thing with someone laughing at your face? And I always said that I wonder if Oda is going to be bold enough to see that maybe there's a flaw with Nika. You know, maybe someone who always sees joy in life, and it always laugh during sadness. What happens when your best friend is crying and you're looking at him and tell him just to laugh? You know what I mean?
Listen, so there totally is something wrong with Nika.
Yeah.
Like the guy's
like an extreme. He's like a fanatic.
Why Vegapunk's bleeding and like Kuma is a fucking vegetable? Like there's definitely something wrong with him.
My dad won't move.
No, oh my goodness.
And it kind of makes me think of some of the curves that most of the time people talk about is comedians, like Robert Williams. You know, saying that you know, I have this thing where I have to make people laugh. And I could go to the sad thing, but people don't get, you know, like how I work. You know, Jim Carrey talks about the same thing, you know, the sadness of certain, you know, people who are just, you know. So I'm wondering if he's going to dabble that with Nika. Like there is a flaw with Nika. When he's too much into the laughing, it's fun in game for some people, but for those who are not laughing, they keep, you know, a grudge. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I think
like embarrassment, shame.
I think that's valid, and that may have to do with maybe how he got defeated. Maybe that he and I think it's gonna come into play soon. I don't exactly think that he's going to get taken, like Luffy's gonna be taken over by Nika, but there has been this huge theme of not being able to control like the beast inside of you, the inherent nature. And I do think that to some degree, Nika's laughter and Nika's playfulness is going to at least give Luffy some type of big loss. And his usage of Gear 5 in general is going to give Luffy some type of big loss. And we kind of see it through, let's say, he was not able to protect Vegapunk. Because people have to remember, Luffy is supposed to protect Vegapunk. And he was not able to do that. To be honest, I'm a Sanji fan, so I'm biased, but Sanji was really the only one there, you feel me, like hold stuff down. But
Frankie? I'm just saying, Frankie was there holding stuff down.
Yeah, he was there. You're right. The science bros were there. The science bros were there. But I do think it's going to end up biting him, especially when I think about what Kaido said when he first unlocked Gear 5. What Kaido was telling him, hey, like all that goofy stuff is not going to do nothing. At the end of the day, Haki transcends all. And I know people have been noticing that Luffy is not exactly using his Ryu, his advanced conquerors. He's not spamming it in the way that he spammed it against Kaido. And I think he is having an over-reliance issue with Gear 5 and with Nika. And I think it's going to get to the point where he realizes, hey, I need to stop overdoing this and I need to get into my Haki bag. And I think something major will happen if it's not what's happened with Vegapunk already. To make him feel
I think it already happened. Years ago. And I'm convinced of it. You know what it is? And I'm sure of it is the parallel to the Ace death. I think the original storyline for sure, it was his fault. Like, remember the fight with Rob Lucci, where he started laughing and jumping backwards, and everyone told me, "What is Luffy doing?" What if at this point, while something was happening, there was an explosion at the same time, while he was supposed to get his ace out of the handcuffs? Like, let's say it's the exact same storyline. If it's a cycle, he was just laughing, looking at the cannons, because at the same time cannons were, because that's what Luffy is doing right now. When he is ADHD on steroids. There's a butterfly, he will just look at the butterfly and say.
And remember, Sentomaru got harmed because of Luffy's antics, and he was like, "Oh, sorry, Sentomaru, like, did I distract you?" Like. And again, Vegapunk got harmed because of Luffy ran out of Gear 5. So this may be a continuing trend where Luffy realizes he's not able to protect the people that he's supposed to protect because of the Gear 5 laughter and all the antics. So yeah, that's very valid.
It's been being talked about in the chat a little bit, and Desnus most recently brought it up. I don't know who brought it up first. I'm trying to scroll through real quick, but saying that like, what if Nika could have the same like symptoms of the smile devil fruit, like the artificial devil fruit, where they like are, and so he has to like overcome that. Maybe like I love that. That is whoever came up with that. You're beautiful. You're brilliant. That's amazing, and I love that point. To add to this, Middleway. I know you said you were
the smiles too.
I know you said you were about to go. You're about to have to go. Is there anything you want to plug? I got some links in the description for your YouTube channel and for your most recent theory on Kuma. So yeah, if you got anything you want to say before you gotta go on and get.
Definitely check out my recent video. I describe how Kuma was able to still retain his consciousness by his devil fruit his Haki being stored in his devil fruit, and I go over the connection between devil fruits and Haki, and that's definitely an awesome video. I have some interesting theories coming up soon with Sanji being a devil fruit, so definitely look out for that. I think I cracked the code. But besides that, it was a very enjoyable conversation. And I'm looking forward to, doing this again, of course.
Oh yeah, we're putting together like a stream for a little over a month from now. where we're trying to get a lot of people on to cook with us, just like we did with the Stream of Liberation before. We would love to have you on for that. We'll reach out to you, but we're definitely gonna have you back on, you know, even if you can't make it to that one. But yeah, keep an eye on your DMs, because we'll be in touch. It's been such a lovely time having you, just like last time. Literally cannot wait to see what more you're cooking, and just again, congratulations on just, you know, you've been hitting the community hard. I keep hearing your name everywhere in all the comment sections and stuff like that, so great job. And again, thank you for joining us.
Of course, thank you. Very nice to meet you, Chestnut. Very nice to meet you as well, Marvin. Of course, it's a pleasure to talk to TLA.
Yeah, it was awesome to meet you too.
Awesome. I'll give you a follow on Twitter. Awesome.
Oh yeah, if you do, I'll follow you back. I never know who's on Twitter or who isn't, because I be posting and dipping because people be roasting me, bro.
Yeah, it's toxic over there.
Oh man.
All right. Thanks, guys. All right. Have a nice one.
Yeah, you too, brother. And yeah,
I have to get soon. Like, sorry, but like it's getting late.
No, yeah, you're good. You're good. Like, thank you for just sticking around as long as you have and for joining us in the first place, Marth. You guys, like I mentioned at the beginning, my boy, I've been hanging out with him in VCs since like mid-March last year, so we're coming up on a year. That's pretty much as long as I've been in the community. So this was like, for me, this was like a day one goat. A good friend of mine recently got monetized, well deserved. Everybody check out his channels. Everybody check out his channel. Join his Discord. Links in the description. This dude has some interesting. He's got a Foxy W emote. I wish I could use it here and show you all. But
why do you bring it up?
Why not?
And he's cooking on some spice that he didn't feel like he was ready to share with us today. But
I can only tell you so much. Like, it's the longest theory I ever made. It's gonna be over an hour, so I guess you can call it a mega theory.
Let's go.
It basically gonna touch everything. I'm gonna try to explain what I think for the One Piece is. Love Tale, the Will of D, the end of the story, the Iron Giant, Joy Boy, everything. It's a bit wild. There's a little bit of headcanon as well, but I'm trying to explain it, and I think I found some evidence that supports all of this. So definitely check it out, because I've already sitting on the script since almost a month now. So whenever this video comes out, I feel like people should watch it.
I definitely hope that you know, everybody here goes and makes sure they sub to you, and that they all enjoy it whenever it does drop. I know I will be enjoying it. I'm a huge fan of Marth's style and everything like that. Some of the funniest, literally one of the funniest videos I saw like all of last year was your Ancient Aliens style video, which I think Chestnut was actually like a part of that, right? Like,
Oh, yeah,
that was so
that she was.
Yeah, that was so interesting, unique, and just absolutely goated. I think you should all go check out Marth's channel.
Before you go, Marth, I have to point that out. So did you just like try to outplay Kuso and make a longer video? That's what Dez is saying in the chat right now.
I mean, Kuso's video is like 1 hour, almost 2 hours, I think. But maybe I'm gonna touch it. But I'm definitely gonna ramp up the style a little bit. Like, I will have a little sidekick. The guy here, his name is Marquis the Goofy. So stay tuned for that.
Love it. Yeah, and also I also wanted to say, like, and I've spoken to you in DMs and in VCs and stuff like that, but amazing rebranding, the new logo and like layout and everything. Like, kudos.
Thanks to Kuso,
yeah, kudos to Kuso Land, who's just an absolute like unit in the community as well, and like extremely talented. He's helped out some of our very close friends and members with doing some like art and things like that. We love Kuso here as well. I can't wait to get him back on.
He's to go.
Yeah. Before Marv has to go, since Chestnut is here and everyone in the chat has to hear this. Just like Figureland or Celestial Dragon, Kuso Land is an actual Celestial Dragon. Keep your eye out, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Kuso Land is a Celestial Dragon. Pass it around.
He was once a Celestial Dragon, right? Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Leave on that note.
Bye, Marth. We appreciate you joining us again. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your night.
Peace out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, it's like 2 in the morning for Desnus and Marth, and like Kube, I think it's like even later for you, right?
It's 2:21 right now. It's Josh. Yeah. Joshua's 1 hour ahead of me. Joshua's ahead, 1 hour ahead of me.
Yeah, now it's my turn to leave.
we appreciate everybody for coming out and whatnot. Chestnut, if you're still down to cook, I know I am, and I'm pretty sure Lucas has got some more time. Oh yeah. But yeah, we appreciate everybody who did join in the chat and in the call, and just being, you know, absolutely amazing in the community. This has been some of the most active chat that I have ever seen in any of our streams, except for like the stream of Liberation itself. So you guys are amazing. Thank you.
Listen, it was a W stream, bro. Also, I'm good for like another like 10-15 minutes.
Down. Let's go.
Yeah, I wanted to
just leave already, John. No,
bro. Have a good rest of your night, bro.
I love you, brother. Oh my God, he left.
Oh my goodness.
So let's get into the last part, guys. So you know what, Chestnut? Do you have now a new agenda with the recent chapters or something? You know, something that has changed?
My has always been Blackbeard. I'm like, I mean, I do have a theory video that I have, like, I'm gonna get edited. I'm not sure if I should tell you guys though. I don't know if I should release what I've been cooking up. Unless you guys really want to hear it.
I mean,
you could just tell us to us. We won't tell anyone. We won't tell anyone, don't worry.
So my theory has to do with Gecko, Moria, and Blackbeard, and I feel like, so I feel like people will keep this under wraps, but super special sneak peek. I think that Blackbeard specifically went after Gecko Moria because of Gecko Moria's shadow power. Now, we know that probably one of the final battles in One Piece, right, is going to be Blackbeard versus Luffy. So how cool would it be if it was literally like the King of Dreams, like Joy Boy, literally like the biggest dreamer versus like Nightmares. So I'll leave you guys with Nightmare Blackbeard, just in your mind.
Oh.
You know what? I love it because recently I came to this idea. What if Blackbeard, if Luffy's crew is supposed to represent dreams, his crew is a nightmare, and in a way you could kind of make that connection with the Lafitte. He's a fallen sheriff in a way. And he's the only sheriff we know, the only sheriff in the world of One Piece who was actually exiled because of his atrocity to him, you know. And that's the concept of an angel, who become fallen angels. You know, they fell from grace. So I do like that Blackbeard, you know, being Nightmare.
Yeah, so that's what I'm cooking up, like very similarly to Nightmare Luffy. Like Blackbeard's big goal is to become Nightmare Blackbeard.
That's crazy. And like I remember I was talking with somebody in VC a while back, and they're like, yo, do you think we'll ever see something like Nightmare Luffy again? And like not quite like Gear 5, but like I don't know, like a buffer version, or and I was like, you mean like Daydream Luffy? Like could that be like the inverse of that? Like that is crazy.
I have a question now. Do you guys think with the idea of Chestnut, do you think that was the reason why he needed another Devil Fruit? Think about it, like when Luffy's shadow was taken from him and he had to do from Nightmare Luffy, he also had the drawback that if he didn't regain his shadow before the sun hits him, he would just burn. You know, what if he made sure that he had more will than I don't know how to phrase it, but you think it could be a correlation? Add himself another will with another Devil Fruit.
I think it could work like that. I don't. So in my theory, I mostly just go over like what Blackbeard's like plan is to how to kind of come about that. But I think it would be interesting if Blackbeard needed another Devil Fruit, even to just control the other souls. Because I think that souls and shadows are one and the same. I actually think that your shadow is half of your soul. Because when you're looking at a little bit spoiler for my theory, but when you're looking at Dr. Hogback, that was the scientist who was researching the weight of souls. So like, isn't it just really weird that he goes to work for Gecko Moria, who has the shadow fruit, and is able to deal with shadows, and his entire job is literally putting like shadows into zombies, or putting like souls into zombies. I always found that very interesting. So I think that there's definitely something with like shadows and souls, and I think that that's why Blackbeard specifically wanted Moria on his island. Like he literally goaded Moria to come to his island so that he could like kidnap him for a certain purpose.
The reason I love this so much is real quick. Sorry, go. Everything ties back to Thriller Bark. like this is where
really
the Soul King himself was introduced, and like the weight of a soul, and like the parallel or like of that with like what you're saying about shadows. It's I love it so much. And shout out to Dak Sake himself. As soon as I start talking about Brooke, he pops in. We love that.
Yo, what's up, Dak?
What's up, Dak?
Dak always be coming in here, bro, and then he bringing his foxy agenda. Disgusting. Shake my head.
Me and him share that long ring, long land agenda.
I was gonna say, Chestnut, there's actually another thing that even fits more to it is we know that it was revealed that when Absalom went to Ashinosu looking for Blackbeard, he came with Dr. Hogback. We know Absalom must be dead now, most likely, since the fruit was given to Shiryu. But where's Dr. Hogback? And then for some, like you're saying, so yeah, I think there might be bases. Like he found out through Hogback himself, maybe. So
do you guys think, like intrinsically, that shadows and souls are connected in the story? Because I do, like 100%.
100%.
Yep. First time we saw their food user. Oh yeah, so go ahead, Jackson. No worries.
I was gonna say they're like, especially given the fact that we have all this stuff from Vegapunk now too. Like, I feel like it's pretty much confirmed that like souls and shadows are just very similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. First time we saw their food user eat his fruit was Kaku and the Khalifa. They showed the first transformations through shadows with the Kaku. Only through shadows. The shadow changing. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Baby Pluton just put it in the chat, and I was about to say something similar, but like I think that I don't know if memories are specifically like in the soul or something like that, but I think they could be something completely separate as well, which like there's the memo like Pudding's abilities, and just like having like these metaphysical properties that are a part of like somebody's like it's like it's not like an actual like physical like anatomy per se, but like somebody's like composition on a more like metaphysical level, like their soul, their shadow, and their memories. And who's to say that it stops there also?
Didn't the Blackbird Pirates kidnap Pudding?
Ooh.
Yeah. And we like, so yeah, I love this. I absolutely love this. This is crazy.
And this is why I'd be saying, I think especially because like the fact that a soul or a shadow can hold, it can hold memories, but specifically physical memory, right? Like it holds the memories of somebody's body, whereas like the memories that Pudding uses holds the memory of like emotions and of your mind. So it's like you have like the physical response where it's like that's how like Oars was able to like use Luffy's powers, and then you have like the memory response where you're able to like literally like take and cut out memories. We also know that like memories can be physical objects from Vegapunk. And we got a lot of stuff into like memories and souls, and it's like I think that especially if here's what I'm thinking, right? Let's say somebody's dead and you have a dead body of somebody very powerful. Let's just take Whitebeard for example. What if you like take a shadow? Technically you still could, right? If
I'd
there's
like
a body.
To believe so. Yeah. So
I'll just leave it at that.
So my thing to add to all of this is if you have a dead body in the world of One Piece, because I did analyze the Devil Fruit to use together to bring back that person, you would just need, if he has a Devil Fruit, most likely the Yami, you need a Kage for the Shadow, and you would need Pudding's fruit. All those fruits are in Hashinosu. So yeah, I do think that there's a possible thing, with it. And then my question is this, right? We know that inside Devil Fruits, through Sabo, that former users, their souls are in it. That's why he said, Ace is with me. So yeah, it might be a loophole.
I mean, that might just be him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a confirmed thing, but I do agree. Like, but what I was gonna say is wild too, because earlier today I was just cooking with First Mate of the Last Arc, Den and Kushi about some stuff, and I said that it's wild that no one points out the fact that Brook has the Yomi no Mi, and Blackbeard has the Yami no Mi. Maybe one resonates with the soul, and the other like splits the soul, like a yin and a yang situation.
Interesting. Yeah. Well,
that's really interesting.
That's crazy.
Ooh,
yeah.
And it makes it so interesting too, because Brook's soul power is his ability to literally just like take his soul out of his body, and then use it to fight, and it can interact with things. Which, isn't it weird that your soul can interact with physical objects? Like, it shouldn't make any sense. But we know that you can literally grab shadows. So it's like, if you're able to grab somebody's shadow, why can't your soul grab onto other things?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Lucas, it's even more than that, because if you think about it, it's not like the Yomi is just, the naming, stuff like that. The Yomi is the world of darkness in Japanese culture. Like, if you think about it, Brook's Devil Fruit is literally, like, if Blackbeard connects to the Davy Jones locker, like a lot of people like to connect, or like the world of darkness, like a part of it, Brook is supposed to represent all of it. So yeah,
he's supposed to be, the Yomi is the underworld, basically.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's like,
there's got to be, I don't know, like Vex says, everything comes back to Thriller Bark. A lot of people like to say that Skypiea mirrors like the last arc of One Piece. I think what we're seeing right now is going to mirror, not like Egghead specifically, but like the build up to that final war is going to mirror Thriller Bark, even more so than what we all already are seeing.
Yeah,
I agree. I think Thriller Bark's important, like important.
With the connecting of the fruits that you guys were just mentioning as well, like the fact that there's like the soul and the shadow, and like Dax said in the chat that Brook referred to his soul, his shadow, as his second soul, and like Chestnut had said that the shadow kind of has the physical memory, whereas the soul might have the like more emotional or like transient memories that are less physical and whatnot. Then those are things that are seemingly intangible, but are able to be interacted with through fruits and things like that. And the Yami Yami no Mi specifically, I think the main thing that we were told about it first is that it is a Logia power, air quotes, that specifically does not let the user become intangible, and it interacts like with physical objects, like and it, like he sucked in like a whole town and like let that out. And so like, what if like a way of capturing the soul, a way of capturing the shadow and the memories, and then the Yami Yami is more of a way of capturing the actual physical form as well.
Yes,
which like,
dude, yes, fucking cook.
Yeah, it's like it's all like kind of like tying to like similar like slices of the same pie, where it's like this is crazy. And this kind of also ties in with a theory that Straw Hat Lucas has kind of been cooking on as well. So I don't want to say too much because that's going to be coming out soon as I get my shit together. But yeah, like it's this is crazy that like man, what a conversation.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up something that I think it's either Cody or Smokey from TLA. So I want to give them props for it. And I added a Sir Devil Fruit, but he said, what if the Yami and the Nika were connected together at one point? There's one power. The Yami is the shadow of the Nika fruit. And I said, interesting enough, when both Blackbeard and Luffy liberated people from Impel Down and they were called Architect, who was the third one? Buggy, who has a split fruit. What if Buggy is the power that split the shadow and the sun from one another, which I like.
Look, I like that a lot because I've always said that Blackbeard is not the moon like everyone thinks he is, but he is the eclipse, which an eclipse over the moon would be what? The shadow of the sun. Well, the shadow of the earth, but you get what I'm saying.
Interesting that there's all these shadow talks.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. All of this shadow talk.
Oh my goodness.
I'm also making custom art for Nightmare Blackbeard, and it looks really cool. So I'm super excited.
I can't wait to see that.
I can't wait to see that.
I will send it in the chat.
I'll send you the thumbnail for my Sacrifice Theory video. You'll love it. The art is so good.
Well, guys, you heard it here first. Like, I think you've heard it here first. Like, have you? I don't know, because Chestnut said that she's just been starting to cook that up. So, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna get the whole community talking, Chestnut. Like, that is some gold right there. That is some gold.
I'm excited about it. So I have like the video. I just have to like go over and make sure that it's like I'm not like stuttering because I just took it with my camera, but I'm gonna get it like an editor because I have like an editor now. And since the shorts be popping, bro, I can afford an editor. So hoping to get my long form to be a little bit better. And then I'm probably not gonna. I'll be honest. I think I'm gonna do a lot more like analysis content because that seems to be like bussin'. But yeah, probably like one of my last big theories until I finally make that Nami theory that I've been trying to make for forever, and Dak keeps telling me to make it, and I have the script and I just can't work on it.
I love analysis. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like reaction analysis and theories and things like that. And like the craziest thing is that like theories is where I started with, like where my real like passion in the community was. I was like, oh my god, Pluton the Mole. Oh my god, like, you know, like Mihawk's sword and like all these like crazy theories from like whenever I first started getting back in like into like things. And so shout out to those creators and whatnot. And like it was interesting because we got so many reveals in 2023, a lot of theories.
Oh shit. Oh, I did that out loud, sorry.
No, you're good. A lot of theories kind of died and a lot of theories were like debunked and things like that. And one of my favorite things about the most recent couple of chapters is that theories have been popping. The amount of cliffhangers and like what is this and like open-ended it's been crazy how many like people have been putting out a lot of like really solid theory like content. I think it's making a resurgence, but maybe that's just me, you know. Like, but it's so interesting because like everybody had their own like theories on like who was showing up at Egghead, and like it's just these past couple of chapters have just been insane. And really like a lot of stuff in the Kuma like flashback was just kind of Oda pulling stuff out of his bag to like tie things together, and it didn't really debunk anything, but like big reveals like the names of the Gorosei and like things like that. Is just this past year has been like full of so much information that some of these older theories, you know, like don't completely make sense, and it's really interesting to go back and look at the ones that do. But all of the newer theories that have been sprouted just by like, I think it was like the last 3 chapters, it has been crazy to me. So I've been loving that like in the community lately.
I have to ask, Chestnut, just because we really didn't, we started cooking on the chapter, then we all just started going off about theories. But what do you think your like favorite panel from that whole chapter was?
It was probably the Luffy panel where he finally gets off. I thought that was like a super good tension breaker because like the fact that everything was like so meek and bland, and then we just get like Luffy finally coming back after all this time, and like we see like Kuma can finally see that like Joy Boy is alive and stuff and it does exist. Like it was a really good panel.
See, I like that. And because I'm on the same page with you about like people being like, I can't believe he's laughing through this whole time, but that's the point. Like even though Vegapunk is hurt, I guarantee in his mind he's thinking, I'm okay because look, there's Sun God Mika.
Yeah, and
like, there's
like
the light of the world.
You can't have, the thing is that if you make things too edgy and you give things too much tension, it's like, okay, when are we gonna get out over this? And it does actually like emotionally, especially like when you're writing stories, like you need tension breakers. You can't always have it be just like filled with tension, or else it's not interesting and people lose interest. And you see this with like a lot of stuff. So I think a lot of people don't understand how certain story elements work and how you need to like write things, because let's be honest, if Luffy like came back and was like, oh my gosh, and started crying over Vegapunk, people would be like, what is this? Like, come on, bro. Like nobody really wanted that. I think that there's just a lot of hate.
No, and also let's not forget the Gorosei, what they said the first time he awake in Wano when he awakened his fruit. It is the most terrifying and ridiculous power in the world. This chapter proved to it. Like, what's more ridiculous than laughing like a dweeb, but at the same time, what's more terrifying at the same time, because there's a fucking buster. Sorry, but there's a
you're right.
You're good.
Like that is.
Bro, we're
the
an hour
most
40
ridiculous
into
and
the
terrifying.
stream. Drop the F-bombs if you want. Like,
yeah. But yeah, you think about it. That is literally what the young Gorosei said when he talked about that, like the legend of that fruit. This chapter is a proof to it. What is more terrifying than that? You know, imagine in Ohara. The Ohara would have been much different with someone like that.
Yeah, it would have. I will say I do gotta start wrapping this up for at least my end, because I'd have to go.
No, yeah, you're all good. You've been
family friendly.
You've been.
I want you guys to know I'm not going to share it with anybody because it's Chestnut's work and her baby. But I just got to see Nightmare Blackbeard and woo! That's why I said "oh shit" in the middle of you talking, Bex. Like,
bruh.
It was gorgeous.
I know. I need to send it to you guys in your DMs too, so that you guys get a special
because I'm really curious about it.
Definitely.
Chestnut, before you.
I was just saying, I'm definitely not gonna open that up on stream. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna pull up my phone real quick to check my DMs.
Yeah, check your DMs because I sent you guys a thing. I think it looks pretty cool.
It's amazing.
I'm working on shading right now, but I don't know.
But yeah, before you go, I want to give you a super special thank you. I had messaged you about a week and a half ago about doing some reaction content in TLA, and we had our first successful reaction stream, members only, which everybody in the comments right now is a member. Get ready because we have a lot of members only reactions coming. We're going to keep all of our reaction content members only for the moment, and it's all thanks to the advice Chestnut Tanuki gave us, and of course our head cook Vex for cooking up that awesome overlay that got us through those copyright bitches.
Oh my god.
Either way though, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for your advice. It means a lot.
Listen, whenever you guys need help, let me know. It's hard on YouTube to figure out certain things, and I don't know if you guys like see how much I change up my format. Like I be changing it up a lot just because it's like they keep changing up their shit. So it's hard. It's like really difficult to do, like, especially like showing a reaction stream and stuff, and doing that. Like, it's really difficult to keep it interesting and fun. So if you guys need help, just reach out to me. I try to check my DMs every so often when I'm not dying at work.
I keep a pretty close ear to the ground. I'm in y'all's streams pretty much every single week as well. So yeah, I mean, we definitely appreciate it. We got much love for the Chibi girls and much love for Baby Pluton as well for gifting 5 Last Arc memberships. That is crazy. Thank you so much. Yeah, the fact that you just got Ragnar with that is legendary because
we've all been trying to get Ragnar. But mainly Vex. Vex will make like 100 fucking gifts rain per stream trying to get one person. Like,
yeah, my aim's kind of shoddy, guys. Sorry, but I do it for the community. But no, yeah, like we definitely can't wait to get you back on. And like I said, we're planning on doing another like big all-day stream sometime soon, so we'll be hitting you up for that if you're game. Once we get that completely put together. But really, thank you for spitting with us. You've obviously shared with us more than we appreciate everything that you spit with us. You did not have to do that, but yeah, you heard it here first, folks. And check out her link tree in the description and join the Chibi Girls server if you haven't already. To stay in the loop and whatnot. Make sure you support all of these wonderful content creators. We have much love for you as well, and we got a shout out to you and Hime and Desness and the man himself, Hype Hunter, with the recent Hype Awards. Like, I thought for sure you were gonna get it. Like, that's crazy.
We all thought you were getting it, Chestnut. It did.
So it's super surprising to us.
My Discord was divided between me and Hime, bro. They were infighting. There was too much. We should have rallied against one person.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Vex was like, they probably split the fan base because Chestnut and Hime were on there.
Yeah, for sure.
But major kudos to just like all of the channels that have seen like significant growth, this past year. So well deserved. And like, again, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys for having me on.
Have we challenged her to a Davy back fight yet? Not yet. We got to beat the OPU boys first.
Yeah, one at a time, man.
Oh my goodness.
One at a time. I want to appreciate. Honestly, I'm not gonna do. I don't do that many late streams, and you're one of the few people I would be willing to do that. Love chatting, and you are very, very, very busy. So thank you for being able to stay here. Honestly,
yeah, of course.
Appreciate it.
I always try to make time for you guys because I really appreciate the stuff that you guys do. I always try to pop in when I get time. I am very busy, especially at work, because they keep calling my booty back in. I keep having to go back in and do consults. But I appreciate you guys having me on. It's always awesome to come chat with you guys. So yeah, I'm just very grateful, and I think that this community is great. I mean, your guys' community is sometimes nicer than what I get on my TikToks. The majority of my like base community is great. The people who comment on my TikToks though, they're a different breed, bro.
Yeah,
I stopped reading comments in your YouTube shorts because it triggered me, and I said, you know what, I'm not gonna do what I used to do 10 years ago, have debates on YouTube. You know, I watch your shorts, I leave a like, and then I just leave.
Listen, I almost quit TikTok for a little bit because of my comments. Someone reported me because they didn't agree with my opinion, and it removed my video from FYP, and I got so salty about it. I was like, son of a bitch.
Bruh, yeah, it's rough out there.
TikTok is a whole different breed.
That's why we love y'all, chat, is because y'all built different. Y'all are amazing.
Y'all built different.
But yeah, like I said, it's been great having you. Always will be, and we can't wait to have you on another time. But we definitely understand if you gotta go. We could get into other outros as well, if boys, if y'all are willing to wrap it up as well.
I'm down to cook for another like 14 minutes.
But all right then, I'm gonna peace out. Bye guys, peace.
Take it easy.
I mean, if you guys are, I'm not gonna force you to stay on stream with me by knife point.
No, I can cook for a little bit longer. I loved something that Baby Pluton put in the chat earlier, so I gotta shout it out. I'm not able to scroll that high up, so maybe if I butcher it, let me know, because I see you still active here, Baby Pluton. Again, thank you for those memberships. But saying like, what if like whenever Luffy finds out that he is indeed the sun god, if he gets mad at the giants because they starve themselves to honor him. Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't even think of that.
Goated.
That is so such a good observation. I love that, and I had to shout it out.
Well, not only that, just he pointed out that like he would have helped Baby Big Mom. Yeah, he is not a fan of starving kids. So I agree. I agree entirely. I think it'd be one of the funniest scenarios on Elbath if we get to see that.
I just don't know if I'd see Luffy owning up to the title of Sun God like that, you know, like, nah, y'all aren't honoring me, you know, like I don't, but if he does somehow like really meld into that role, I won't be mad, and I think that's absolutely something we could see. But yeah, I just thought that was definitely worth bringing up, because that's so good.
I want to bring up something JJ just said. He said, I got to make a list of the most hated One Piece characters. Who's your most hated One Piece character? Let's give I
mean, right now it's Saturn.
No, he said, give me some characters that aren't the regulars.
I'll be right back.
Queen, 100%. Queen and Orochi. You know what? Queen, at least he made me laugh at some scenes, you know. But Orochi, it's different because I understand where he's coming from with his upbringing, but it's hard to hear someone laughing because people are starving.
Dow, thank you so much. Wanzi, I cannot stand Wanzi. Cannot stand him. Yo, Cody, get out of here, bro. I love you to death, but get out of here. No.
That's crazy. You don't like Ramen Kempo?
I can't agree. No, I don't like Ramen Kempo. Dude, he was so annoying. I was waiting for him to get his ass kicked by Sanji. But I will not agree with you about Treble, because we are Treble stands on the channel canonically. So like,
oh my goodness. I have to step away, let my dog out for like 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Good.
Y'all cook.
You're good.
Yeah.
But I do agree. Queen, I don't know. Queen, I don't hate him, but I get where you're coming from. Like, he's a character that I enjoyed watching. You know what I mean? Like, even though he's a villain. Same with Doflamingo. Mm-hmm. Actually, I hate Doflamingo, so I can't say that. But I did enjoy watching him. But I didn't hate Queen. Like, I was just like, this guy's a bitch. Like, this son of a bitch. Like, that's all I thought about Queen. Like,
you know what is, actually I have one, and you will know because I'm very nuanced about this arc, even though I said it's a shit arc, but for different reasons, and also because of where the setup of it. Hody Jones, the villain of Fishman Island, I like because it's an important role, but the thing that makes me so upset about Hody Jones is I've always said there needs to be more context on why he is that ignorant, which I felt that they didn't push that much. So that's why for right now is he's a villain that I really despise, but at the same time I also despise because there's some part of his story that I don't like. I feel like it's a bit flawed compared to the others. So I would say Hody Jones for these reasons.
I'm back.
Yeah, dude, I love Hody. I'm not gonna lie, I love Hody Jones. I know he's kind of a boring villain, but like Arlong was an extremist, but Hody was a true extremist. Like he had no rhyme or reason for the things he was doing other than I hate this race of people. Like he is an extreme extremist. Like that's why I like Hody. Like I said, yes, he is a boring villain, and yeah, fuck him for killing the queen. But like, I do enjoy Hody. I have a question then. Vex, after we get Vex's most hated character for our boy John Sherrod, I have a question.
I don't know if it's the most hated, but it's definitely somebody who's on the list. I think that Spondum. Just man, what a waste. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, true, dude.
Yeah, I don't think you would find anyone that sees a redeeming quality in Spondum.
Not one.
I mean, there's one redeeming quality, knowing that he's weaker than an average human.
I do though. I will say this about Spondum. I envy him to have his back cracked by Nico Robin.
That's crazy, dude.
I know. But here's one. Who's a character that you guys love that no one talks about at all?
Helmeppo. I'm sorry.
Everyone talks about Helmeppo, bro. Like everyone talks about Helmeppo, whether good or bad. They talk.
Nah, dude. Like he doesn't get enough. He doesn't get enough. He's a legend.
You know what? I have one, Mr. One. You could say what you want. His loyalty towards Crocodile is impressive. In the SBS, he even refused to escape with the others, and he's still there next to him. So yeah, his loyalty, like he's literally Crocodile Zoro, Mr. One.
Yeah,
he's the Zoro for Crocodile.
Mr. One is entirely I do love it. I love his fruit too. I'm actually finishing up the devil fruit ranking for his fruit tonight. So yeah. Mine is Sodom. It's two of them. It's Sodom and Gomorrah from the Frankie family.
We love the Yagura bulls.
They're amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah. They are amazing. Like the sacrifices they made for not only the Straw Hats but their own like friends and stuff like that's real Nakama right there. That is real Nakama.
We're 2 hours into the stream. I can say this character that I love that not enough people talk about is Shilly, the mermaid.
Fritz, that's his like number one waifu for One Piece.
What is Shilly?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Man of culture, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. I just looked up a picture of her. Yeah, that is legitimately Fritz's number one waifu from One.
You know what? I actually have a fun question, guys. What do you guys think is the most forgotten character in the One Piece verse?
Oh man.
The most, the Marine that had the rust fruit.
Dude, such a cool fruit though. Like
it is. I give it a 10 out of 10, dude. That thing is formidable. That thing is formidable. Because if you rust, like you can rust people. Like your blood can be oxidized. So if you had full control over that fruit, because that's what rust is oxidization. You can literally melt people's DNA. Like that fruit is insane.
No, all I gotta say is if we're talking about most forgettable characters, it's one of the like named but not even depicted Big Mom children. It has to be.
Yeah. Dude, I forget some of her children that were named and depicted. Because she has so many. Like, I'm being dead serious. Because she has so many of them. Like
no,
the guy
honestly.
with the genie. Like the guy with the genie fruit. I cannot
Daifuku?
tell you his name on a good
It's
day.
Daifuku.
It is Daifuku, you're right.
Yeah. It means like beans.
So, yeah. Same with the guy that uses the combined fruit. I can't remember what it's called now off the top of my head.
Douglas Bullet?
Nope, that is not him. It's the Big Mom's kid, the merge fruit or whatever it's called.
It's called the pile fruit.
Pile. Thank you so much. Yeah, but who uses it?
Yeah, so
it's not Moscato. It's a different dude.
It's not. No. Yeah, He has this like, because he's part of the dectuplets, and I just cannot ever remember his name. I've ranked that fruit, and I still can't remember his name.
Go ahead, Cube. Sorry.
No worries, guys. So mine is actually very funny because it's a character that even I think Oda forgot about. So his name is Lines. Obviously, you're gonna say who? He's basically the Marine and the Baratie who basically was the one who said that Jin escaped, who got beat up by Jin, and also got beat up by Full Body and Sanji when they were having their argument, in which Oda actually named him and made like a small SBS entry about him, and then nothing more of him. So he's like the only named seaman in the East Blue that was named, but never to have more about him.
It's crazy.
So he's a father with a name. So for me, he's the most forgotten one. It's very funny. I think
that guy's coming back for the final saga. He's got to.
Yeah, same with Jin. He's actually the next fleet admiral. Most underrated character in the Baratie arc, though, since you mentioned it, is Bachi. I agree. There was a comment by Nasty Ninja in the chat. Bachi. I made somebody defend him in an anime debate one channel, and it was the greatest thing I've ever listened to.
That was hilarious. Make Ask the Audience great again.
Yeah, make Ask the Audience great again. We are bringing that back. Also, join the Discord if you haven't yet, boys. Everyone in the chat, join the Discord.
I think everyone here has, but yeah, absolutely.
I know, but I have to say it.
Yeah. Give it up for Elson because he did bring up one good one. Because I think he's the most important Marine in the story, right? Because of his involvement, the Marine that brought Kube into the Marines, the one who accepted him in Shelltown. It's true.
His name's Lieutenant. I knew his name.
Lieutenant Dan.
No, you ain't got no legs. No.
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
No. His name is. I literally remembered his name. It's something kind of generic, like Lieutenant, like Striker or something like that. I forgot what it is, but I made a point of it to just remember a bunch of useless characters' names, a long time ago, and obviously it's just fallen through the cracks because there's just so much information we've gotten lately.
Yeah, dude. The worst is Wano. You don't know how I had difficulty with some of the Wado names.
I still don't remember all the names of the scabbards, dude. Yeah. Unless I see them, I'm like, oh yeah, that's that guy, and then I remember his name. But like, I still have problems with it. Ripper.
That was his name.
Also, how you been, man? Ripper.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute, Elson.
Yeah, right. That's all I say. How you been, Elson? Also, shout out Black Man Who Laughs. Go right there. Now I can't stop looking at Ishali like that. I get it. I get it, Fritz. I get it.
That's what I'm saying.
I have a fun question for you guys. If there was so basically imagine a character pulls a Django, changes sides, so faction. Which character do you think would join which faction, or you would love to see him in this faction instead?
Honestly, I want everybody for Cross Guild at this point. I hope Cross Guild does the most and Cross Guild gets everybody. Like, end of story, Cross Guild replaces the government, and like I love Cross Guild. It might be like a really milquetoast answer, but that's what I'm going with. I want everybody to join Cross Guild. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I want it.
What about you, look?
What was the question? I'm sorry, I'm typing.
If a character would pull a Django, so meaning be in another faction, which character would you want to have be part of a different faction?
Smoker. I want him to join the rebellion, the revolutionaries.
Crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I really think that like that's kind of the road he's going down. It's either that or him and Fujitora are going to defect and Sword. Because like Fujitora, there's something up with him. I don't think he's gonna stay with the Marines until the end of the story, and if he does, it'll be with Sword.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, obviously it's because he's his own person, obviously, but I would want him to make a public, if it's not public yet, me as Big Miss Morgan with Revolution Army.
Right.
At least make it public.
Hold on. Will of Dreams. I fucking need that to happen. I need Wiper to join the Revolutionaries. And bring back Dials, yes, of course. But I need Wiper to join the Revolutionaries. We need to see the cast of Skypiea again. I want to see Conus, Papa Goo. Like, I want to see everybody come back. Like, we have not seen anyone from Skypiea again in the story, but we have seen someone from every arc again so far.
Sure.
I think we'll see.
They're coming back.
I think we'll see Isa.
I think Isa will come back too. Especially since the time skip has happened, and like she'll know more about her observation hockey and things like that. Potentially in Elbath, if the theories about Enel coming back in Elbath are true.
And also think about this, right? What was the whole culture around what? The sun god. Yeah. Definitely, if someone like Morgan or someone else, I am sure that there's a way to reach information. Like I still said it. Rayleigh knew very well that Luffy faced Mantra. It only works if someone told him that he saw Luffy in Skypiea. You know what I mean? So there's a big. I'm not shocked that some people in the Blue Sea have access to the White Sea, could send messages. So yeah, for sure, I can see that. Yeah, I was gonna say I want Big News Morgan to publicly show his side to the World Cup, to the Marine, to the Revolutionary. That will solidify them. Because he's actually an actual he's what people believe in real truth. They read his newspaper.
That dude bodied a trained Cypherpole agent in like one tap.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's crazy.
One tap.
So imagine if he publicly recognizes the Revolutionary Army having a good fight. They're fighting for the good side. That would
Nasty,
be so good for them.
Ooh, Wiper is a god's warrior. Yeah, see, that's especially since they worship the sun god. Like coming back and being like part of the Grand Fleet even would be insane.
Yeah. Wiper is so interesting as a character. It's Skypians. I would love to see someone like a Shindoran come back, either Asa or Wiper or someone else.
Yeah. I think we'll get all of the Sky Island stuff that we need, hopefully, from Urouge when he finally makes his appearance. But I'm down for more. I just think that will be plenty,
Yeah. And also, I mean, isn't there one of them from Skypiea? The guy, in Alabasta, Gadatsu? Didn't he find in Alabasta?
He wasn't from Skypiea.
He has Hot Springs. He wasn't?
He's from. I thought that was confirmed that the priests were from Burka.
No, he fell. Remember, he fell the cover story after Skypiea.
No, I know. Yeah, but I
so
thought you were saying he was a Blues team person.
He was at Skypiea, but Skypiea is not all of the White Sea. It's only one, like it's Angel Island. He is from Burka, which was destroyed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you were saying he was found in Burka. No, it's true. They came from Burka. What was it, like 6 years ago? I mean, no, 8 years ago, but wasn't it like 6 years before the story?
I think it was 7.
7.
Ooh.
Okay.
Black Man Who Laughed said, if the tree in Elbath leads to the Sky Islands, we may meet Wiper again. Yeah, that's fire right there.
Yeah,
that's
I know. Amazing. I think I was talking with, or I was on VC with Elson, and he was also mentioning, like there's a strong chance that's a common theory, but the summit of High West or whatever it was probably tied to the whatever world tree or whatever is at Elbath. That'd be sick.
Honestly, I'm gonna say this. Who I would love to see come back to the story, just for like romance style, more of it. Like it would be cool to see that nostalgia. Johnny and Yosaku, because if you remember, they were one of the first to actually see the potential of the star. I remember what they said in all. They will change the world. Keep an eye on them. They're special. Like they're the first ones. Like they're really the first one to put them in a pedestal. So I would love, to just have a moment where they see Zoro, what he's become, the entire crew. That would be very fulfilling. They were still rookies when they met them. They were still rookies when they met them, and they believed in their greatness. So yeah, it would be fun. But yeah, other than that, anyone has another? Dude, I tell you, Lucas, I can't take you seriously with that Jiren profile picture.
It's part of the Kufi gang, brother.
And I didn't see that Vex you added a hat to your look.
Yeah, it's the Goofy gang.
You got to, brother. But yeah, I think we can go ahead and call it there. Yeah, it's been super fun. I always love these chiller streams on break weeks and stuff like that. Tons of theories to spit around. Like I've been saying, these past 3 chapters have been so goated for theories. Got some theory content coming your way from the last arc. If you stay tuned, make sure you check out all the links in the descriptions to support our guests, support our members, and just, you know, stay freaking amazing as you are, chat. And we've also got a really, really, really great guest this Saturday. They're gonna be another later stream for y'all. Y'all seem to like those a lot. But if you guys are fans of the coach himself, King Recon, make sure you come by this Saturday at around I think 7:30 EST is around that time. Not sure, we're still working it out with him, but yeah, we're bringing the absolute epitome of hype himself to cook on games, peak fiction, you know, and just yeah, flag nards and stuff like that. You know, it's gonna be super fun. We cannot wait. I know Nasty Ninja in the chat is losing his mind right now, but yeah, it's gonna be a ton of fun, and stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed and you like the stream. Hit the notification bell. Guys, anything else y'all want to say?
Yeah, I do. To everybody who got a membership tonight, be on the lookout. Like I said, we do have some more membership streams coming up. I know here soon, starting on Wednesday nights, in a time slot similar to what this is. Our boy SSJ Cody will be reading JJK to our head cook vexyz the Lurking Legend. We've also been reading Dawn to Dawn on Sundays, but we're cooking up on some anime reactions as well. Might do some Freerin, might do some other stuff. So yeah, we have a lot of membership only content coming your guys' way. So yeah, it's just a thank you to you guys for being such an amazing community.
He said make sure he makes the MJ jersey. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, that's funny.
I was gonna say, no, appreciate everyone for being here. You know, staying. For those who say that till the end, we appreciate you. So I'm gonna plug myself. You can find me on Straw Hat Lucas. I make great TikTok. Go check out my TikToks. You know, I told you, Lucas. You know, I don't do content right now. I'm just streaming. So your content is my identity right now. So check out Lucas's stuff on TikTok. You know, and pretty soon there'll be an only. No, I'm just kidding. I was gonna say OnlyFans.
There will be an OnlyFans. It's gonna be me painting One Piece scenes naked. Nothing sexual at all. Just me doing that.
with two grapes placed at the right
oh
position.
My god. Wild. Yeah, and then go ahead.
Yeah. Now, yeah. Also, guys, I think it's Vex will confirm it because I dropped Group 2 solo Scarlet Pirates.
That is true. I've heard that somewhere, and yeah, I have my own channel linked in the description if you guys wanted to check that out.
After dark, you guys.
Yeah, those streams were crazy. The last arc after dark, bro, it was unhinged. But yeah, if you guys wanted to check out some One Piece D&D content, the Scarlet Pirates are like nearing the culmination of the whole first major story arc, and next Tuesday is. They're just we last left off on a session where they're just like staring down like a big bad guy, so should be tons of fun. If you wanted to check that out, link in the description. Go ahead, Lucas.
Oh no, yeah. If anyone ever has any suggestions on things you want to see us react to or anything for members only content, as our members, we love hearing from you guys. If you're in the Discord, we'll be putting up a recommendations channel soon for anyone to go in there and be like, hey, I want to see what your guys' reaction to this would be. That, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the stream did make 3-day leave the stream. That was true.
Yeah, it was too out of pocket.
it went a little too crazy.
But yeah, that we have been the last arc. Chat, y'all have been amazing. We love you all so much. But we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your night, and we'll see you Saturday for Peak Fiction.
Yes.
Take it easy, y'all.
Bye.
Take it easy, guys.